Yes, students, let us continue with the topic impact of British rule in India. So now in the previous two videos we had a discussion on how the judicial and the administrative changes were brought by the British. Now we need to see about the changes that the British brought, especially in the field of police system. How they brought changes in the police system. Remember, the police were in charge of maintaining internal law and order situations. We can say internal law and order was maintained by the British. But once when Lord Cornwallis came, this Lord Cornwallis, he implemented the efficient police system, and for the first time we see he brought lot of changes in the police system, and for the first time he introduced the new post, which is SP post. Now what you call it as a superintendent of police. So this superintendent of police post was for the first time introduced by Lord Cornwallis. And this SP, who will be the in charge of a district, he will be the in charge of district, and this was again, the whole district was divided into many stations. And he started this work in the year 1793. He divided number of districts. Headquarters was divided again in number. Today what we have, you can see every town will be having one station. Like that, in the under the whole district where we see stations today, the same thing was done by in the beginning by Lord Cornwallis. And this is started in 1793. And once when the stations were started in 1793, every station was under the control of an officer. And this officer, he was called as Kotwal. The officer was called Kotwal. And now this is in a town level. For every station there is a Kotwal. And in every village, and this Kotwal, in every village, he used to keep one person, and the village was under the control of Chowkidar. Remember, this Chowkidar was responsible for the village village discipline, we can say. And for everything, remember, any type of illegal act was accountable to Kotwal. Kotwal will be accountable for everything that takes place illegally in his station premises. Okay, this is how for the first time the post of SP, the post of Kotwal and other things were started by the British, and that the officer was Lord Cornwallis. Later, when this was going on, unfortunately, though the work was going on, especially the drought, ಬರಗಾಲ ಅಂತ ನಾವೇನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, drought. When the drought was there in 1770, administration became weak. Once when the administration became weak, what the British did? Due to the weak administration, British took over all the powers. All the power was given to the British. And in 1781, we see for the first time magistrates were appointed. And these magistrates, almost all they were the British. And all the police officers were controlled by magistrate, that is the British magistrate. And the police system, which went with a number of changes, again in 1861 we can see one more change. The Indian Police Act was introduced. Indian Police Act was introduced in 1861. And once when this Police Act was introduced, the law was based on good law and administration. Okay. They introduced or they brought a very good law and administrative system in the department. But though you see they were Kotwal, SP, Chaukidars, etc., beyond all these things, one thing what we see is Indians were not appointed. Where they were not appointed? Indians were not appointed for high posts. They were not appointed as officers. They should work on the lower post like Chaukidar and all. Okay. And when this was going on in 1902, for the first time we see that police appointments were done based on qualifications. Today also we can see the appointments are being done on the basis of qualifications. The same thing started in 1902. Though appointments were done based on qualifications, we see Indians were not given such importance. And you know why Indians were not given the importance? Indians were not given importance because Indians were very well recognized as corrupted officers. So due to that, Indians were not given such an opportunity, we can say. Now, next, we need to see the changes which were brought in military system. Remember, even in military system also, lot of changes took place. Here, in military system, the British appointed Indians for military and took the entire India under their control with the help of military. Remember, once when the British came to India, when Robert Clive, when he came to India, we see he was having very few soldiers, and British army was having Indians working for British army. The British army had Indian workers. The Indians were working for British army. And remember, the British army succeeded in defeating Indians with the help of Indians itself. And this was really a surprising thing. Okay. But even here too, we see that Indians were appointed low posts, and the high posts were reserved for the British only. And the highest post given to Indians was Subedar. Above Subedar, they couldn't go. Subedar was the highest post. And remember, coolie soldiers were more, especially in the British government. They appointed Indians as coolie soldiers. Now, what is this coolie soldiers? If we take this, coolie soldiers were the one who carry low luggage of British. During wars, they need to carry the weapons, they need to carry the other required things, especially for the wars. And we see in 1857, the British planned to have change in army, and it was according to the Peel Commission. Peel Commission recommended to bring changes in the British military system. And later, whatever the army system came after 1857, it was almost all based on the Peel Commission, or it was based on the recommendation of the Peel Commission, we can say. So this is about the military system. So remember, today we now had a discussion about the changes that took place in police system. Remember, police system is the controlling of internal law and order. Lord Cornwallis introduced new post of SP, that is Superintendent of Police, and every district were under the control of SP, and the district was divided into number of stations in 1793, and every station was having an officer called as Kotwal. Okay. And in the rural areas, in village, every village they used to keep one person as Chowkidar, who will be almost all like a constable. And all the illegal activities, all the activities are being controlled, or it was been almost all subjected to Kotwal. He will be the responsible for everything that takes place in his in his area. And in 1770, administration became weak because of the drought, and British got all the powers. In 1781, magistrate post was appointed, and the police were almost all controlled by the magistrate. And in 1761, good law and administration was introduced according to the Indian Police Act. And then we see Indians were not appointed for the higher posts, and in 1902 police appointed based on qualification started. So this is about the police. And then military, British Army, which worked in India, were having Indians working for them. British soldiers were very few, whereas the Indians were working more for them. Indians low post were reserved, whereas the higher post were given only for the British, and the highest post that was given for Indians was the post of Subedar. And they used to carry the luggage, especially the Indian soldiers who were working as coolie soldiers. They used to only carry the luggages. And in 1857, Peel Commission came, and it brought lot of changes in the administration. So this is about how the British administration brought change in India, how it impact in India. So we studied about the administration, the police, and also the military and the judicial. About the other changes we will see later. Thank you.